Hi guys, in this section we are going to discuss Java basic concepts. Let's start it now. In this section we are going to discuss four topics. The one is keywords in Java, identifiers in Java, data types and variables. So the one first we are going to discuss is keywords in Java. Let's start it now. Keywords are predefined words. We can't change the meaning of those words. We call that as keywords. For example, consider the value of pi is 3.14. It is constant, right? You can't able to change the value. Similarly, in Java, we have 50 keywords. We can't able to change the meaning of those words. We call that as keywords in Java. Keywords always should written in lowercase. If you try to write in uppercase, then it is going to throw you the error. So like public, class, in, double. What is the meaning of those words? We will be discussing in upcoming section. But as of now, try to understand the keywords are predefined words. You can't able to change the meaning of those words. So when you go to Edit Plus, the words whichever looks in blue in color, we call it as your keywords. See, your keywords has been written in lowercase, it has not written in uppercase. So class, public, static, void is everything we called it as your keywords in Java. What is the meaning of these words? We will be learning in the upcoming section. The next topic is identifiers in Java. Identifiers are the name provided by the programmer. Example, class name, variable name, method name. As of now, we don't know what is variable name and method name. We will be discussing later, but we know what is class name. The name, the one which I am providing for the class. So we are writing some kind of name for this program, right? This name we called it as a class name or we called it as a file name in Java. So the whatever name we are going to provide, that everything we called it as a identifier. There are certain rules you have to follow to write your identifiers in Java. The first one is we can have combination of alphanumeric values like ABC 1 2 3. You can have first program you can have, and we cannot start with numeric values like 1 2 3 program, and we can't start with special characters like at program, ampersand program, but we can start with dollar or underscore. We can't declare identifiers with space like something like this. So you can't declare space something like this, and you can't start with numbers, and you can't start with special characters like at, and you can't start with ampersand something like this, but you can start with dollar. You can have underscore in between, or you can start with underscore. So these are the certain rules you have to follow when you try to write your identifier. And next is there is no limit on the length of an identifier. So you don't have a limit, so that you don't want to write a class name something like thousands letter or 10,000 letter. 4 to 15 letters you can use it, and you can't use any kind of reserve words. And what is reserve words, everything we will be learning in the section. So always follow these rules whenever you try to write your class name or variable name or method name. Variable name and method name we will be discussing in the upcoming section. And another rule we will be follow when you write your class name is, according to the industry standard wise, we will be writing our class name, the first letter would be always in uppercase. And if you don't write in uppercase also no problem, but that is the industry standard wise we will be following or writing our class name first letter in the uppercase only. So the next concept what we are going to discuss is data types in Java. Data types are used to store values. For example, a byte, short, in, double, float, long, char. Byte, short, in, double, float, long. This everything is used for storing an integer values. For example, Byte short in this tree can store integer values. Double can store both integer values and decimal values. Float can store only decimal values. Long can store only integer values. Characters can store single characters. Boolean is used for check the condition. If the condition is true, it prints you true. If condition is false, it's going to print you false. Now we know that one byte can contain one byte, and short can contain 2 bytes, int can 4 bytes, double is 8 bytes, float is 4 bytes, long is 8, character is 2, and boolean is 1. So we know that 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. If I use byte data type, how many number of values I can able to store it in the memory? Byte, short, int, double, float, long can able to store both negative value and positive value. So let us see how to calculate that. So we know that 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. If it is 2 byte, it's going to be 16 bit. How much number can store it in each data type? For that formula is minus 2 power n minus 1 to 2 power n minus 1 minus 1. So 8 bit, right, byte is. So when I say 8 minus 1, 2 power 7 to 2 power 7 minus 1. So 2 power 7 is 128 and 2 power 7 minus 1 is 127. So when you try to use byte data type, you can store 128 negative values and 127 positive values. For similarly, try to calculate for other data types also and try to find how many number of values you can store it in positive and negative. Next is variables in Java. So previously we have discussed the data types for storing the values, right? To store that value, we need a variables. In variables, there are two things you have to know. One is variable declaration and another one is variable initialization. So variable declaration is data type, variable name. So you can give any data type. And ABC is, you are saying ABC is an integer data type. Like this also you can declare it. Another way is like double C. Like this also you can declare it. Variable initialization, the name itself tells you it is going to initialize the value. So data type, variable name equal to value. So whatever data type you are going to given here, the same kind of value we have to be mentioned here. For example, if you give float but you try to insert 100, then it is going to throw you the error. Let us see one example for this now. So I'm going to change my class name as, so always remember, whenever you try to write your class name, the first letter should be in the uppercase. That is the industry standard we follow it. So the first data type is byte. You have to start write your Java program inside your public static void main. Byte, variable name. Byte can store integer values. I'm giving 1000. Next is integer. B is equal to 20,000. Double can store both integer value and this decimal value. Float can store only decimal values, like when you try to use fractions, some kind of calculations. In that case, you can use float data type. When you declare float, at last F is mandatory. If you don't declare F, then your compiler will going to throw you the error. Your compiler will consider this is a double data type. If you want to say your compiler this is a float data type, then you have to mention F. Next is long. When you can use long is whenever you want to use account number, phone number, if you want to store some kind of long numbers, in that case you can use long data type. Even for long data type, there is a rule. At last you have to follow L. If you don't declare L, then your compiler is going to consider this as an integer data type. and it tells you this much of data, integer data, cannot store it. That's the reason if your compiler needs to understand this is a long data type, for that you have to mention L at last. Next is char. Character can store single characters and boolean, right? See, I already given C, right? Again, if I try to give C also, it will throw you the error saying that already variable name C is present. So you should have a unique variable name. So I'm going to see CQ. So boolean, I'm going to say BB is equal to true. True means in memory it is going to store 1. False means it is going to store 0. Yeah. So I'm going to print this everything. System.out.println. So the first 1000 I've stored it in a variable A. So I have to give just A. You don't want to give double quote something like this. When you try to give something like this, it is going to print A, not the value. So you have to print just A. Semicolon is mandatory. And I'll just copy this. So A, B, C, D, L. Next is CQ. Next is DB. Let me save this program. So my program name is base bash program dot java. Now I have to call my compiler command prompt. So first I have to change my partition, it's in D. Next I have to change my folder. So now I have to call my compiler to check the program javac. So what is your file name is bash program dot java. It's telling me some kind of error saying that possible it considered byte cannot store this much number of values. So that what we have to do, we can't store 1000. Let us see under it can able to store it off. See, there is no error over here. So what is happening is in memory, in previously I told you a byte can store 128 values to 127. It's not something like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not something. Internally it does the conversion like from decimal to hexadecimal, binary to decimal. It do some kind of conversion in between. When we try to do conversion, that value should be between 128 to 127. So in that case a byte cannot able to store even 4 values. It is throwing you the error, but when I try to decrease it, it is not throwing me the any error. So I have to call my JVM to execute the program. So it is printing me 100, 2000, 123 and 123.5 and 8 row, right? So always remember, whenever you try to use byte or integer, byte can able to store maximum 3 values. Integer can store maximum 5 to 6 values. When you try to store more than 7 or more than 8, in that case you can use long. Whenever you want to store it any kind of decimal values, either you can use double offload. If you want to store single characters, you can use character. If you want to check the condition, then you can use boolean.